Welcome to exercise universal safety net for literacy. This is a really interesting lesson. We're going to be looking at adding an S. Well, in exercise 13, we did consonant blends at the end of words. This lesson continues that, only this time each one of these endings has has an S on the end. And on this first group here, which will be the first group that we're going to do right here, the S is actually going to have the sound of a Z, Z. And that is because that the letter in front of the S is what we call a voiced letter. So you use your voice, so when you take an S and you put a voiced consonant in front of it here, it's going to make the Z sound. If the letters in front of the S, letter S as you write it, are unvoiced, then are not voiced, then it's going to have the S sound. So the main thing is that when you're writing these words, do not be writing a Z, even though it sounds like a Z. You may be tempted, you may hear the Z sound and start to write the Z. But in the spelling, so we're going to pronounce these as if it were a Z, but we're going to write the S. Let's take a look at these. We have BS, B-S, butts, very tricky, as in the word ribs. I have ribs, and then we have the bones in my rib cage, and then we have tubs, like tubs for taking a bath. DS, d, z, does, diz, beds, pretty tricky, beds, that's more than one. By the way, the S often makes these plural in nouns. GS, g, z, bugs. You don't want any bugs in your food. Digs, the dog digs a hole in the ground. Pigs, pigs like to play in the mud. And wigs, some people like to wear a wig on their head where it looks like it's hair. LBS, bulbs, as in bulbs, pretty tricky when they're bulbs as in light bulbs. LLS, we have L and Z as in bills. You pay your bills. Hills, they climb hills. Pills, sometimes the doctor tells us to take pills. And sells, he sells a new car. Notice the L is voiced, and so that's why the S has the Z sound. LMS, elms. This is a kind of a tree, an elm tree, and when you have more than one, it's elms. It's called plural. MS, hums. He hums a little song. NDS, hands. He has two hands. Mends, he mends a tear in his pants. NS is ns, and again we have buns, hot dog buns. Fins, like on a fish, fins. Guns, guns like the sportsman's like a good gun for hunting. And hens, the hens can lay eggs. A hen would be one. You put the S on the end, it will be more than one. Now we're going to do the S that has the S sound. Instead of the Z, this is going to have the S. And the reason is that the the consonant in front of the S is one of the voiceless consonants. If you do the phonovisual chart, you will realize these are the quiet cousins. And so we have CKS. The CK just makes the k sound, so you have ducks, more than one duck. CTS, now that is a tricky one for you. And that is going to come out as in the word acts. He acts nice. And facts, more than one fact, facts. Then we have the double F just making one sound, and the tss, and you have cuffs, like on your shirt, cuffs. The policeman has handcuffs. Then we have FTS. This is pretty tricky. All three are unvoiced. So we have gifts for Christmas and lifts. He lifts weights. LKS, ulks, ulks as in milks, and sulks. Milks, he milks a cow, and sulks. He went to his room and wouldn't talk to anyone because he was as in gulps. He gulps his food. He helps us to be good readers. LTS, as in melts. The ice melts when it gets hot. MPS, as in camps. Camps. They have more than one camp. Camps, jumps. He likes to jump, or he jumps. That's what I wanted to say. He jumps. That's actually showing singular verb. And pumps. He pumps up the tire on his bicycle. NTS. Try this. These are tricky, aren't they? We have hints. He gives a hint. Here he hints at what he's going to give for Christmas. And then pants. And again, these are singular verbs. Pants, he pants. PS, as in cops. Very tricky. Cups. Again, I didn't. The cops help people a lot. Cups. We drink coffee in cups. Hops. The rabbit hops. Notice singular. Lips. Two lips. Rips. He rips his pants on a fence. Sips. Sips coffee. Tops. I dark chocolate. Yeah. SKS. All right. Tricky, isn't it? Asks. He asks a lot of questions. Masks. They wear mask. SPS. Lisps. And I can't actually do that. It's when somebody can't talk quite right, they lisp. I have friends who lisp, and I try and do it, and I find it hard to do. STS. She dusts the furniture. Nests. The birds have nests, more than one. Rests. He rests on a couch. TS, as in bats. He bats 100, or bats in a cave. Cats. The cats like milk. Cuts. He cuts butter with a knife. Hats. He has many hats. And finally, mats. So these are very important words to learn, but this is a new skill that you need to practice. Listen to this many times as you need, remembering to repeat these words after me and then think of the meaning of the words. We always want to couple the meaning, the sound, and the spelling. All right, good luck with these.